Okay, let's continue on. We want to create a part now where our sprite or our character gets hurt or our character can destroy the virus. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our character lives. So I'm just going to scroll up here. And you can see I have a set life to 3 block. That is located inside the info block here. And you can see there it is under life, set life to 3. So just drag that out and put it right on the top of the start block, right at the very, very top. So I'm just going to scroll down here and I'm going to click on sprites right here. And I'm going to go and scroll down till I get to overlaps. I'm going to drag the overlaps block out. And I'm going to say on sprite of kind player. So on my character overlaps another sprite of kind. And it is an enemy. So let's see here. Let's see. This is the virus stopper. And do we have an enemy sprite? I think we do. So let me just go over here. And there it is. There's our virus. The name of it is enemy. So that's what we're going to want to use. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. So on sprite of kind player overlaps other sprite of kind enemy. So when I overlap the enemy, we're going to use a logic block. So I'm going to click on this block right here, and I'm going to grab this if true then block out. And I'm just going to drag it down. I'm going to put it in here. And then I'm going to drag another logic block, and I'm going to be using this comparison block. And I'm going to grab this one right here, this, and I'm just going to pop it in there. Okay, so we're going to basically say if my sprite, which is my sprite right here, if you remember our y is up and down, and I want to make it so if the y on my character is less than, because remember y goes up, y is negative. If it's less than the sprite, like I'm jumping on it and it's less than, it's going to destroy the sprite. If it's greater than, in other words, if I hit the sprite below, the virus below right here, then it's going to hurt me. And it'll make sense once I get it ready here. So click on sprites right here up on the top. And you're going to scroll down, it says My Sprite X right here. So grab this and pull it out. And we're going to put that inside where it says the 0 there. And I will zoom in to get closer. And I'll just make sure you can see this a little better. There it is. And we're going to change this from My Sprite to Sprite. And remember to do that, you can drag your top variable out. And we're just going to have to trash this variable right here. So if My Sprite's Y position is less than, and what did we call? I think we called it a virus. Is less than, we have a name? Virus, yes, the name of it is virus. So, okay, so we're going to say if my sprite's y position is less than, and I'm just going to change this from my sprite to virus, is less than the virus's y position. Then I'm going to get my sprite to, I guess, say something. So I'm going to get my sprite to talk. So let's say my sprite say, I don't know, gotcha. And then I'm going to have maybe a little effect go, like it'll fire off a little effect. So I'm going to start an effect right there. Remember, we've got to use our sprite from the top up here. And I'm going to do a cool radial effect for 500. I'll do it for 1 second. And then here's the important part of the code. Once I jump on it, I want to bounce my sprite back up and shoot it back up in the air. In order to do that, we kind of have to reverse gravity. So that's easy enough to do. We click on sprite, scroll down, and we go to change. We're going to change my sprites. I'm not going to put this down here. Change my sprites Vy velocity. In other words, remember y is negative going up, so I'm going to change the Vy velocity by negative 200. Essentially, I'm going to push my character when it bounces on the virus up negative 200. So let's see if this actually works. So I'm just going to move down here. Actually, I think I have to go up here to get the first virus. So there it is. Jump up. Bang. Whoa. Okay. That works, but it launches me way too high. So that Vy velocity Negative 200 is not ideal. I'll try 50. See if that's any better. So let's try it again. So we'll jump up here. 50. There we go. That's good bounce. And actually, I can continue to bounce on this. Keep on bouncing. It would bounce me straight up. And you could probably build your game more like that. Anyway, that's not what we're working on. But now that's good. But we want to have it. The next part we want to add is if the virus touches me and I am below it, like for example, I'm not bouncing on top of it, I'm hitting it below, then I want the virus to hurt me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus sign right here, and I'm going to say else, and I'm going to actually click on this plus one more time, and that's going to create an else if right there. And we are going to go into our logic category. We're going to grab another comparison here, pull out another comparison, and put it in there. And you'll notice that we need to trash this My Sprite one. And we're going to make the same type of code as up here. So we're going to go up to sprites. We're going to go down to under physics. We're going to go to My Sprite, put that inside there. We're going to drag out the sprite variable. We're going to trash the other one that pops out. Oh, looks like I've got two there. And I'm going to say my sprite's y is greater than, I'm going to put greater than or equal to. So if I am below the virus in any way, let's make sure we get the virus. So I'm going to click on My Sprite. I'm going to drag it over here, put it in the 0. I'm going to change My Sprite to virus, just like we did up there. So virus, we change this to y. So now if you read this, if my sprite's y position is below or greater than the virus's position, then I want to make my sprite maybe say something like ouch or that hurts. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to say ouch. And I'm going to change my life by 1. So I'm going to go to info. I'm going to go to change life by 1. So it's going to take away 1 life. And I'll make sure I got my sprite here. So let's check this code. And let's see if it actually works. So there it is. Okay. It's coming up low, and see if I can get, ooh, I got it. I nailed it. I actually keep getting it. So I'm going to try and hit it from below and see if it does anything. There, ooh, okay. That is how it works now. Unfortunately, our problem is when we hit it, the virus keeps on hitting us, and so it takes us out right away. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we destroy the sprite. So right here, I am going to grab a sprite icon, and I'm going to go down to destroy. It's under effects. So when I jump on the, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to change this to virus. So I'm going to destroy the virus. And then I'm going to do the same for the bottom one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click yellow on this piece of code, and I'm going to duplicate it. So I have 2 copies of it. And then I'm going to, let's see if I put this below, destroy the virus. So let's test this out to see if it works. So there you go. There's 1. Here it comes. If I bounce on it, there we go, destroy it. Now, unfortunately, when it destroys it, we don't bounce, it seems. So I'm maybe, no, I can destroy the virus with an effect, but it seems like it's, okay, it's destroying it, but we're not getting that bounce effect we want. So let's figure that out. So maybe let's put the destroy effect up here. So that's going to destroy the virus and see if we get the bounce effect after that. So let's see here. No, still not getting. Maybe let's increase our amount of bounce we're getting off of it. Maybe that's something to do with it. So there we go. That's why. So we just had to increase our velocity by, I changed it up to negative 200 and I got my bounce. So that's great. Okay, so now let's see if it actually hurts us. So we're going to go here. Out. Yeah, it hurt us. Took away 1 heart. So that is right here. This whole thing is a really important part of your game because it essentially makes it so the enemy can damage you or hurt you. And you could try some stuff out and actually make it so something heals you as well if you want to experiment. Now, there's kind of one more thing we need to do before we finish this off. We need to make sure, there we go, got it, that we actually have an ending to our game. So what we're going to do is I am going to go back up to my tile map here, and I'm going to I'm going to put the ending right here just so I can test it out. So your ending would probably go over here somewhere. And I'm going to just to make this easy, I'm just going to use a chest for now. I'm just going to use a really simple chest. Put it right there. Actually, I'll put it right there. Oh, and I was going to pop back out. So essentially what we want to happen is when we touch that ending, we want the game to be finished. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. Actually, we'll leave that maybe. No, I'm not going to go into that because it might be too complicated for what we want to do. So I'm going to show you how to make new levels, but we'll keep it straightforward with this. So I'm going to say click on scene. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go down to this one. It says on sprite of kind player overlaps something. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to put this right there. So I'm going to say on sprite of kind player overlaps. I'm going to overlaps the little treasure chest at location. And then what we can do is we can say, click on game, and we can click game over lose and change that to game over win so we can win the game. Now, my suggestion for you is it's going to be a pretty easy game if all you do is jump over here, get to the end, and you beat it. So maybe a good idea. And oh, one other thing in here is, of course, you can add music. So you can play a melody right there. Let's try, I can do any melody. There we go, done. So let's see if this actually works. I'm just going to drop down, jump over. There we go, won the game. I would make your level quite large. So if you want to figure out how to create new levels and stuff like that, I'm going to leave some links in the bottom that will show you some other tutorials. But I would take your tile map here and I would increase the size of it using the two numbers on the bottom here and make your level large. You have all of the skills now to build a really cool little 2D platformer, with all of the different code you have. And if you want to get a little more fancy, you can click on advanced here and you can click on extensions way down on the bottom here. And there's things like animations. So you can add in animations or there is a lot you can do here. I'm not going to go into any of that because that's for you to explore. But one other thing we definitely want to look at is once your game is complete, you can see down on the bottom here is your save icon. Please give it the name and then your last name here. And then click on the little save icon right here. So if I click save, it just takes a second and it should be popping this on. There it is right there. Now I'm on a Mac. You're going to be probably maybe on a Windows machine or a Chromebook, a little different. So I'm just going to click show in Finder. I'm going to locate where my file has gone. So I'm just going to click got it right here. And I don't know why it's not showing me. Show in Finder. It's not popping up here. Probably went to my desktop. There it is. So it's actually in my downloads. It's this one right here. We would like you to please attach this into your assignment once you are complete. So you can put a screenshot in, but we would also like your game. We want to go in. We want to play your games. We want to try them out. So yeah, please give us your games. We want a hard copy of the game, so you can see there's a hard copy there. And also you can share the game with us up here. So I click on share. Actually, I need to publish it first, so I click on publish. And then here is the code. You can share the game with us, okay? Please make sure you are saving it so you have a hard copy of it. You give that to us, and please make sure you are sharing it with us so we get a web copy of it. That way we can save your games and you take a look at the code and everything like that. Okay, so hopefully this has been helpful and can't wait to check out all the games you're making.